Welcome to the Business, Finance, Hospitality, and Marketing session brought to you by Knoxville Chamber. In this session, you will learn the importance of having a social media presence for an organization. Callie Blackburn and Steph Blue, both digital marketing coordinators for the Knoxville Chamber, are here with us to share the daily responsibilities and roles as a digital marketer. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you so much. So I think we're going to start by a presentation. So I'm going to share my screen really quick. Okay. So first we're going to start with some intros. My name is Callie Blackburn, and I'm the Director of Digital Marketing here at the Knoxville Chamber. And I've been at the Chamber for about 3 years.
And I'm Steph Blue, and I am the Digital Marketing Coordinator, and I have been with the Knoxville Chamber just over a year.
So what is the Knoxville Chamber? We are the Chamber of Commerce for the Greater Knoxville region, and that consists of area business owners and companies, and these folks can join as investors of the Chamber. And then these investors will partner with us and support efforts of our mission alongside local organizations. And our ultimate goal is to drive regional economic prosperity, which basically means we're furthering the efforts and interests of local businesses. And here is our mission statement, which is to drive regional economic prosperity. And this is a little bit of our vision and our plan. You can see we have different sectors in this economic ecosystem, such as business expansion, attraction, business climate, infrastructure, talent, and entrepreneurship and small business. And these are just different areas that we put our focus on here at the Chamber. And then our vision is to create a vibrant, innovative economic ecosystem for the entire Knoxville region that considers today's realities while contemplating tomorrow's aspirations. And the plan for the Chamber is to focus on these 6 core components in this ecosystem to advance our mission, which is to drive that economic prosperity.
So what are our priorities? We work to develop the regional workforce strategy. We also help to retain and attract talent to Knoxville, as well as implement an infrastructure strategy as well. As a team, we work to collaborate to help bring access to capital for entrepreneurs and new businesses, while also working to execute and focus on economic development. And finally, we also help to build and develop brand strategies to market Knoxville and Knox County as a city.
And so to all that Steph just said, here are a couple of our strategic platforms. We have 5 different basically focus sectors that we work on to achieve our mission, and that's communication, health, movement, power, and security. And so next we'll kind of move into a video that kind of gives a very brief overview of the history of the Knoxville Chamber. Actually in 2019, it marked the Chamber's 150th year serving the region. So we put together a little video that will kind of go into detail of what the Chamber does and our history.
From these words in its first marketing piece promoting our region until today, the Knoxville Chamber has spent 150 years devoted to driving growth in our thriving city. Here are some of their most notable contributions. The organization backed the movement to create the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, beginning to promote Knoxville as the gateway to the Smokies, and funding a trip for the Tennessee legislature to visit the proposed site. This chamber-funded trip is credited with influencing the vote to purchase the first large tract of land needed to create the park that millions of visitors still enjoy today. Chamber offices have been located downtown since 1887. The organization has taken a vested interest in the revitalization of downtown, particularly in the 1960s, with the renovations to Market Square, Gay Street, and construction of the Civic Auditorium. These improvements contributed to Knoxville's designation as an All-America City in 1963 and paved the way for the 1982 World's Fair. Through the years, the Chamber has partnered with civic and business leaders to establish relevant, progressive community programs and events that either help drive the regional economy or support existing industry. The Chamber's support helped establish lasting access to programs and resources that engage the current and future leaders of our regional business community. Throughout the Chamber's history of evolving community responsibilities, one thing has remained the same: its purpose. In 1869, doing good for the city. In 1906, help everything that helps Knoxville. In 1928, benefiting the upbuilding of Knoxville. In the 1960s, we must be better. And today, driving regional economic prosperity.
So other than that historic overview, a little bit about the Chamber. We offer various business expansion services. We provide resources to help businesses grow and focus on economic development. And I'll let Steph give some of these.
Yeah, in addition, we also work to attract new businesses as well to our area to help provide more jobs to Knox County and Knoxville as a city. The Chamber then also works to provide assistance to small businesses and entrepreneurs. Within both myself and Callie's role, we help to attract new talent to the workforce area and meet the needs of current students who are going to be graduating soon.
So for my role, what does that look like as digital marketing director? A couple of the things that I oversee is the creative direction of the brand. I focus on our website, whether that be specific coding, management, web design, or as last year, we actually worked with a local design agency to completely revamp our website. So that was one of my big projects. I ensure that the coordinators and interns have projects and manage those. And then I oversee branding, and that could be anything from social media graphics to printed materials and anything art and design. I also focus on reporting and budgeting and analytics and data management. You know, if we're posting on social media, we have to make sure that we're getting a return on investment. Our efforts on social media need to show results and numbers. And so that's something I also do. I will deploy paid media campaigns and ad buys. So anytime you see sponsored posts from businesses, that would be something I would similarly do with the Chamber. And then that can also go into traditional media. The Chamber publishes a printed portion of the Knoxville Business Journal, and so I kind of oversee the creative direction on that. And then lastly, I will collaborate with visitor and tourism efforts and relocation projects just to kind of get people interested in the area.
So similar to Callie, I am also in digital marketing. I work as a digital marketing coordinator. And overall, I kind of help to support Callie as well as our vice president. So what that looks like is me overseeing social media as well as content creation. We have a newsletter that goes out every Tuesday. And my role in that is to help create the stories as well as develop the newsletter itself. I also oversee multiple video projects that can go from anything on YouTube or just back to a business, as well as photography. I also help to support the businesses that invest in the chamber, as well as working on press releases that go out to keep the community updated on chamber news, as well as news that's happening with businesses as well.
And so here's an example of something that we might do for social media. You know, I think a lot of people generally assume that digital marketers are just playing on Facebook all day. Well, while we're using those social media platforms, we actually are doing strategic posts or media ad buys. So here's an example of something we did. This was a Facebook campaign. To the left, you'll see it was a Chicago market. So basically, we want people to see how great Knoxville is, how much time they'll save on their commute, how affordable it is to live here. And we'll build out social media ads, and we will micro-target to young professionals in the Chicago area. Similarly, on the right side, you'll see we had a similar campaign, but for a community in Buffalo, New York. And we were trying to target a specific business owner, and his business actually created AI-powered watercrafts. And so through the use of these targeted social media campaigns, we were able to get his attention, and subsequently he visited Knoxville for a site visit. And so that was really interesting to see our efforts in these social promotions pay off. Something else that we do in the world of digital, as Steph has mentioned, was video production. So we worked with a local video agency to create this Choose Knoxville video. And so this would be something we would put on Facebook and YouTube and run ads behind, so that people outside of the community could see why it's such a great place to live. So something else we assist with is our events department. We offer a lot of events and programming from the chamber, focusing on different areas of the community or different business owners or companies. One thing in particular that I thought we would share is our Endeavor Summit. And this is a full day program. And obviously, you know, this was taken pre-COVID, but we offered programming to our area young professionals, especially those that are graduating. And we are trying to let them see what a great place Knoxville is, because we have a lot of bright minds and bright talent graduating here in Knoxville, and we definitely want to keep them here. So this is a video that we worked on for our 2019 Endeavor Summit. And this will kind of give you a taste of some of the, not only the video production aspect, but some of the marketing pieces that we did around it.
let's be real, these people that are here today are tomorrow's leaders.
You know, the young professional group in Knoxville is enormous and continuing to grow, and we feel like it's important to keep them here to be future business leaders and future civic leaders, and we want to support them in that.
I just want to embrace my role as a servant leader in the community and really be a champion of change and promote stronger communities in general.
What is Knoxville's greatest asset? The friendliness. People are so genuinely nice. Knoxville feels like no one's trying too hard, but it feels so authentic to who Knoxville is. It just feels like home. I love it.
It's the young leaders that are tomorrow's leaders right here in Knoxville, and we need to help mentor that process.
So that gives you a little overview of our programming. And then Steph and I discussed a couple of common questions that we had been asked about our roles. So the first one, why is it important for the Knoxville Chamber to have a social media presence? And I would say it's access for our business community. You know, a lot of people in the time it would take them to reach out to us or to visit the chamber or to email or call, we have the most instant version of communication in our pocket. So everyone has the ability to contact us on our social media, and they can ask us questions. Maybe they need a local resource or a guide, or they don't know where to start with their new business or startup. Having a social presence really allows us to be at everyone's fingertips. And then I would also say having our social media gives us the ability to have ad campaigns and reach communities outside of Knoxville. And much like we shared with our talent retention and our recruitment and our media ads we were doing on Facebook, we want other people and other communities to know about Knoxville. And the best way to do that is through social media targeted ad spends.
Yeah, similar to what Callie said, as you saw, a little bit cringy. I was in that last video. I actually started working at the chamber through being an influencer myself. And that's how the chamber found me to be able to promote an event. And that was all through social media. So it likewise provides job opportunities as well for not just for those who are, you know, looking for jobs in Knoxville, but potentially looking for a job at the Knoxville Chamber itself. The world right now is turning heavily digital, which means that social media has become a great means to market businesses and different organizations. So I think it's definitely essential that as a chamber, we know, you know, we're in that best kind of atmosphere to make sure that we can be a part of knowing those businesses that are local or potentially come in here. It's a great place to network for entrepreneurs and potential startup businesses too. So that's another reason why I think social media is very important for us to have.
Awesome. So what made me want to work at the chamber, and what are some of the rewards? I would say I love Knoxville. I'm not from Knoxville originally. So the chamber has allowed me to learn even more about our rich history and get to know the people that live here and work here and want to make Knoxville a better place. I've met a lot of great people, made a lot of contacts here, and just really, as I said before, as someone who is not a Knoxville native, the chamber has been really imperative in, you know, me finding my way in the community. And the rewards, there's too many to name. I get to do what I love, which is digital marketing and design, whether that be web or graphic. And I have got to meet a lot of really great people, learn about an amazing amount of companies, and I continue to hope that I can grow and thrive here.
Yeah, similar to Callie, I'm clearly not from here either. I'm from London. But for me, I think it was being from London and coming and seeing the similarities of, you know, having that big city feel was really cool. But specifically with working at the Knoxville Chamber, having the opportunity to be an influencer at one of their events and seeing how incredible the events were, and how they came together was just amazing to me. I instantly kind of knew from just working to promote an event that I wanted to be a part of an organization that was doing such great things for its local students, as well as just overall for young people as well and businesses. Another thing is it's definitely a great way to engage with your community as well. If you're someone who wants to be involved in your community, the Knoxville Chamber is a great place to kind of work to make sure you're doing that. And it's just a really fun place to work. It's very, very, very fun. And some of the rewards I'd say of working at the Chamber is having the ability to see your hard work pay off. So now kind of being on the other side of, social media and seeing how promotion works with events, as well as just overall different strategies that we have to promote that's happening locally. It feels great kind of seeing the result of all the hard work. So I'd say that's one of the number one rewards of working at the Chamber.
So what are some important skills for going into the digital marketing career field? And then what are some classes that you could possibly take? I would say for classes, anything in computer, if your high school offers business classes or accounting or statistics, that would be a great place to start. And if you're like me and you're wanting to get more into the creative side of things, definitely try to do any photography or art or design coursework that your high school offers. There's also a lot of free stuff online. And skills, I would say it's important for someone to be creative and flexible. Digital is always changing, and there's lots of new social media platforms coming and going every day. So just having that interest in social media can really help you as well.
Definitely exactly the same with what Callie said. Having a passion for social media is super important for my role. But again, also being willing to stay up to date with different trends, different algorithms, knowing how to promote what is happening so that, your efforts are actually building results. Also having the ability to just work a computer is really essential. And then having knowledge of, even if it's just some knowledge of your business community, is super important as well, and a passion for that. Because you could have a role that you love, but not have a passion for your community. So I'd say it's really important to have that passion too. In terms of classes, I would say anything kind of technology based, something that kind of helps to prep you to be highly involved in all things digital. So anything IT based is super important too.
Have there been challenging times? Definitely, I think I speak for everyone when I say COVID and this pandemic we've had for the past year has been very challenging, because not only did we have to pivot the way we worked, pivot the way we went to school. I'm sure you guys have had to deal with virtual schooling, but also from a chamber perspective, the businesses and the organizations that invest in the chamber, and even those that didn't, they were genuinely worried. When the pandemic first started, we didn't know what was going to happen. And we, of course, want all our businesses in Knoxville to survive and thrive and continue to be successful. So that was definitely a challenge. But I think also at the same time, we were able to quickly move through and figure out, okay, what do these businesses need? How can we support them? How can we continue to make them sustainable? And while it was challenging, I certainly felt like we were able to rally around our community and help them through this difficult time.
Definitely would agree with what Callie said. Definitely, COVID was the biggest challenge, especially, just coming on for a year, or it being my first year and then experiencing that with the chamber. It was definitely tough. I kind of learned that my role was not just one role, but we can kind of get into multiple roles, which again is really exciting, to know that it's not the same thing every day. Another thing that I'd say to back up Callie is the most amazing thing was seeing, even during that kind of tough time, how the chamber rallied together to serve its community as well, and how the community was responding to just having the knowledge of what to do during such a tough time. That definitely overall, has showed what a strong chamber we have in Knoxville.
So in closing, I really enjoyed this quote. Inspiration is the most important part of our digital strategy, and that's so true. Digital marketing is a very creative role. Steph and I both love it, and if you have an interest in all things creative and social media, we really think that that would be a great avenue for you to explore.
So we have a few questions from students here. The first one's going to be, how do you recruit companies to the Knoxville area?
Well, we have an economic development department. And so basically, these guys work on all things recruiting, and they ensure that other areas of the country know about Knoxville. And so while they're scouting and making phone calls and traveling and visiting, Steph and my team, we're preparing micro websites so that we can send social media ads out to them and target and get clicks. And then we'll actually go in the back end of the data and see where these clicks are coming from. And so we can use all these pieces together to reach out to various companies based on industry and get them interested in Knoxville.
What are some of those companies that you've been able to work with and get here?
Well, some of them, when we're in the process of getting them, we have an NDA signed. So that means it's very confidential and we can't really discuss some of the companies that have relocated here. But just as a few examples, I believe the chamber was a factor in when Scripps Networks turned to Discovery. They were a factor of getting Discovery here. We work with maybe big businesses who are considering merging or relocating. We'll pivot to those guys and show them that Knoxville not only has the space for them to put their company or business, but also the graduates, the people who specialize in STEM technologies or IT or science, because we have so many regional assets in the area.
Another question is, what is the most exciting part about your job at the chamber?
I'll let Steph get this one.
Ooh, this is a good one. I'm happy I got this one. I would say that no day is the same. That's what I absolutely love. You kind of find yourself dipping into different roles, which can be very, very, very exciting. So I'd say it's definitely that. No day is the same. You have the opportunity to grow and be as creative as possible. We have a really great, I would say within, especially our team, I love our team. We have a great team that allows you to be as, there's no wrong answer. You can be as creative, as different as possible. And most of the times that actually works. So I'd say that's my favorite thing personally about my role.
All right, well, that is all the time we have for today. Is there anything you would like to say before we close?
I will just say that I've loved my time in digital marketing, and to anyone who is unsure, but maybe they have a passion for social media, digital marketing is so multifaceted. There's so many ways you can work in digital, whether that be on the creative side or the data and numbers side or the writing side. So it's a really great creative outlet, and there's not really any ceiling when you're in that role.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. We would like to thank these two for speaking on the Knoxville Chamber and what it's about. We hope you all have a nice, great afternoon.